everybody. I'm Bobbie Botticelli, and welcome to Colonial Manor Realty presents Real Estate with the Pros. This is our fall kickoff show, and it certainly is much nicer than the last time we had a show taping. I believe that time it was about 7 degrees below zero and very cold out. Today it's beautiful. It's in the 60s. It's sunny, not a cloud in the sky. So there's your weather report. And if you notice, I'm not wearing the black sweater with the fur collar in July, because I heard more people say, weren't you hot doing that show in July with his fur sweater? No, that was taped in February. So anyway, today I am very pleased to introduce our guest, Susan Patterson. And Susan is chairperson of the West Street Historical District Commission. I have to say it right. West Street Historical District Commission. And she has been a member for 4 years, and she's currently the chairperson. And Susan is also an associate member of the Reading Historical Commission. Two totally different entities. While they may have overlapping members, they are two different entities. So welcome, Susan.
Thank you, Bobbie.
Now, the reason I asked Susan to come in is because recently you might have noticed two beautiful signs going up on West Street. One across from County Road and the other one across from Fremont Street, and they designate that district as the West Street Historical District Commission. So, Sue, I'm going to ask you three questions all at once.
All right.
What is the commission? When was it formed? And why was it formed?
The historic district on West Street was created by bylaw, approved at town meeting in the spring of 2005. So the district itself has been in existence for a little over 3 years now. The Historic District Commission, of which I'm the chair, has also been in existence for the same period of time. The composition of the commission, it may change from time to time, but the members of the commission are all Reading residents appointed by the selectmen. And was there a third question?
Why was it appointed?
Why was the district created?
Mm-hmm. I mean, why was it created? Excuse me.
The historic district on West Street was created because that section of town is really unique in that those several blocks of West Street that are designated really give us all a snapshot of the development of Reading from its earliest inception as a farming community in the 16 and 1700s, right through modern day as a suburb and a bedroom community of Boston. And so it's got, that section of West Street is unique in that it architecturally displays the change and the growth in our town of Reading.
So is it exactly between Fremont and County Road where the signs are? Is that the actual district?
It is. The first home in the district, as you're approaching from the south, from Woburn, is number 4 County Road. And it runs all the way to number 269 West Street, which is on the corner of West and Fremont Streets.
And how many members do you have on the commission, and would you like to name them?
Currently, there are 3 members on the commission. Myself, Rick Nazzaro, local realtor. He's the secretary of the commission. You know him, yes. And David Crew, who is a homeowner in the district.
I sold David's house, so I guess I know you all.
There you go, yeah. The commission has the capacity to have 5 voting members and 2 alternates who can vote if need be. So we're actively searching for more folks to round out the commission. We've had some changes in membership in the last year or so. But if there are any architects out there interested in historic preservation, we'd love to talk to them.
Oh, that's good. How many members would you like to actually have, do you think?
Ideally, I'd like to have 7. We, the commission, would be very well-rounded with 7 members.
Okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. When a homeowner is going to do something on their property, contemplating it, what is it this commission would be most interested in them doing or not doing?
The commission is concerned with any exterior alterations to homes in the district. And so if folks are replacing a bathroom or something like that, that's not for us to so
nothing
be concerned
interior,
with.
just
nothing
exterior.
interior, but anything exterior. folks need to come and talk to the commission and describe their project. This is true even in situations where where homeowners don't need a building permit to go forward with the project. But anything.
Paint the house purple?
That's an interesting question.
To paint the house.
They don't
but
need.
Would you have a problem with them painting the house purple, let's say?
Actually, no.
Oh.
Paint colors are not within the jurisdiction of the commission to even discuss. But if someone were planning on making a change to the color, they might contact the commission and say, I want to do this to the outside of my house. And in that situation, under our bylaw, one of the exclusions, things for which the commission is not responsible, is paint color. And so we could tell that homeowner, just a quick conversation over the phone, no, go ahead, any color that you like, you're free. What the commission is concerned with are alterations to the exterior of a house that are permanent, removing the gingerbread trim from a Victorian, something like that.
Right.
Once that's gone, it's gone, and it really is irreplaceable.
Can the commission prohibit them from doing that?
I
Or
suppose
just delay it?
I suppose technically the commission could refuse to allow such a thing to go forward, but one thing I really would like folks to understand is that the purpose of the district commission is not to be obstructionist. We're not trying to get in people's way. We're not trying to make their houses into museums. We understand that there's change and there should be change. But the commission, we have some knowledge and some expertise and access to other people with expertise and information so that we can work with homeowners to find solutions so that folks can adapt their houses to 21st century needs without losing the character of the antique house that they bought and loved. So it's an opportunity to work cooperatively among commission members and homeowners to make sure that the house suits the needs of the homeowner while also maintaining its original character.
Do the homeowners of that section, do they know that they're in that section? Have they been so notified? Because, if they didn't, or if somebody new moves in and doesn't know it, and next thing you know, they're ripping off the front porch, what are the ramifications?
We haven't, again, technically, the commission could require people to put stuff back that they took down without permissions. But our whole purpose is to talk to people before they get to the stage.
Who implements that, though? You come to me and you say, you're going to put that back, and I say, show me the law. How can you tell me to do that?
There is a
so
law.
There is a law.
This is, the historic district was created via
this is like
bylaw. It's
Conservation
a
Commission
Massachusetts law. It is.
All right.
And the commission is invested with authority from the town. We're all appointed by the selectmen. We actually are an arm of town government. So we have a responsibility. We've been charged with the responsibility for helping to preserve the character of that portion of West Street for posterity, for the benefit of all the neighbors and of the town of Reading as a whole. That's our history right there. The process of talking to the commission, if a homeowner wants to do a project, is not complicated, it's not costly, it's not extensive. Again, under the bylaw, there's a maximum of 60 days from the time you begin conversation with us to the time that a situation is resolved. So at the most, there's only 60 days. And what we really want to encourage people to do is come and talk to us before they're ready to apply for the building permit. When they're still in the planning stages, come and talk to the commission so that all these decisions can be taken care of before the contractor is sitting in the driveway ready to start hammering.
All right, let's throw a monkey wrench in. So I come to you and you say fine. And then on the 61st day, the Reading Historical Commission comes knocking on my door. Now, they can prohibit me or delay me for, 9 months?
That actually is a whole separate kettle of fish. The historical, first let me say, the Historic District Commission is solely in charge of homes in the historic district. That's by bylaw that our commission is given jurisdiction over homes.
So
there.
the Reading Historical Commission doesn't have jurisdiction over them also?
No, because it would in
do you
certain
have it?
instances if the Historic District Commission didn't exist.
Okay.
But so the Historic District Commission is the commission that you need to talk
Well,
to.
that's good. You
if
don't
you're
have to
in the
deal
district.
with two, because
No,
I'm thinking you have to go to one, then you have to go to the next.
No.
Now, I know that some homes are plaqued and some are not. Even though you're in that district doesn't mean you have a historic home. It could be a new home, so it's not going to be plaqued. But talk to me about a plaqued home and the difference between a national plaqued, a national historic site, or a local site.
The plaques that you see around town are either given by the federal government, which is the National Register of Historic Places, or there also was a plaques program created by the Historical Commission quite a few years ago, before I moved to town, so maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago even. What those plaques indicate are homes of historic value that have been registered either in the town, Reading has its own inventory of historic places, or registered on the National Register of Historic Places. Those plaques are indication of an honorarium, really. They're not indication of regulation at all. It's the feeling is that if homes of historic value have a plaque that people can see and admire, and it'll trigger questions. People, oh, what is that house, and why? What does its name mean, and that sort of thing. It's a way to encourage people to take pride in their historic properties, and to encourage education among everybody who drives by to see it. In the West Street Historic District, there are some houses that have plaques, and they have plaques because they were part of either the National Register program or the Reading's Historical Register program. Currently, the West Street Historic District Commission is hoping to put into place a little plaque program for homes just in the historic district. And again, it's not intended to be evidence of regulation, but what it is an opportunity to build community. So if most or all of the houses in the historic district had just a little discreet, elegant plaque that said, member of the historic district, and the year the house was built, and the address of the house, and perhaps the architectural style, it's a talking point as people walk by, and the mailman delivers mail.
Exactly.
It's a visual reminder of the historic importance of these homes.
Going back to the plaques that the town gives, we're a plaqued property at Colonial Manor, and we've owned it for 19 years, so and it was long before that, so
okay.
It really is quite a time that it goes back. And I think it's important, so many people think, now I think it's like down in Marshfield, they tell you what color your house can be, they tell you you can only have orange lights at Christmas time in your windows, and none of that takes effect here.
No, none of that applies to our historic district in Reading. When the bylaw was written to create the historic district, the people who wrote that text were very conscious of the fact that the idea of a historic district is new to folks in Reading. We don't have a lot of local governmental control over what we do with our homes, and the feeling was there's no need to intimidate people and make people worry about how to handle their homes if this. So the jurisdiction of the Historic District Commission and the purpose of the Historic District is to work with homeowners to adapt their homes if they want to, if they need to, but do it with an eye to maintaining that historic character. So the commission is concerned with changes that can't be undone, like removing the gingerbread, or maybe adding dormers, or if people want to add a garage, or you let us work with you, the homeowner, to create a streetscape that is good for the whole neighborhood.
Well, I think it's also a fallacy for Reading, because while they can tell you in Marshfield that you can't have anything but orange lights, there's also financial support from their commission. There is not, because we're on such a shoestring budget in Reading for the commission, so they also can't help you financially, and that's probably a good reason why they can't tell you that you can't have anything but orange lights.
And the commission is not, the town is not trying to require people to restore homes. You don't. You can buy a home in the district, and it could be a 1789 house, and you don't have to do anything to it.
No, I think people should use the commission for the good that they can help. I know people have bought homes and gone to the commission, and they've told them what the original colors were, maybe what the original rails were on the porch, and people who are really into that, gee, I want to restore my house, what did it look like? And there are such incredible members on these commissions that
really knowledgeable people.
Oh my heavens! I had a house once. They told me about the paint jobs on the inside. I mean, it was just unbelievable. So whitewashing, as they called it. So that's a good thing. You can use the commission for that.
That's right. And we hope people will, because we're here to educate and help people understand what options are out there, because you could have a salesman come to your house and tell you need to replace your windows or put vinyl siding on, and how do we know as homeowners? How do any of us know? But we hope that folks in the commission, or in the district rather, or people who have houses on the inventory, will see the Historic District Commission and the Historical Commission as a resource.
Right. On the real estate side of that, it really doesn't make a house all that more valuable. It makes it more desirable, but it's not going to add $5,000, $10,000, $50,000 to the value of your home because you're a plaqued home. And I think people need to know that it's desirability, it's notoriety. It's not necessarily financial. However, if you buy an antique home that is plaqued, we would hope that you're buying it because you like old homes. You're not going in there to vinyl side it and whitewash it and put in the Home Depot kitchen.
Right.
But do remember that it's not necessarily going to add value to it. But, we buy things for reasons, We drive a car not necessarily because it's the best, maybe because we like the brand, or we buy a pocketbook or a coat, whatever it is. So you're buying that home because maybe you like historical homes.
That's right. And, there are some studies that are showing that even in this really difficult market, restored historic homes are hanging on to their value, and in some cases are rising a little bit, as opposed to non-historic homes.
Well, it's like there's only so much waterfront. There's only so many antique homes. So,
and I think that's another another thing that I think people don't think about here in Reading is the preciousness of this historic resource that we have. Because here in New England, we're surrounded by these terrific homes and these antique homes. It's like, oh yeah, my neighbor's got a house built in 1882. Big deal. So does the guy down the street. Well, but we are stewards not only of Reading's history, as evidenced by that architecture, but also national history.
Sure.
I had cousins come to visit recently who are both Southern California natives, and they've traveled all over the country. They'd never been to New England before, and they were just blown away by the street after street of these fabulous houses that I think we take for granted. And having a historic district in place, or a plaque, or folks who just love old houses, it helps to preserve them for the next generation.
Well, let's face it, that is the charm of New England.
It is.
You go to the flatlands of I don't know, Tennessee, let's say, and or even down in Florida, and you have all these one levels. It's just a total. You go down there for that, and you come up here for this.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. I think so too.
Susan, what is the difference between your commission, the National Historic Commission, and the Reading Historical Commission?
There are different levels of regulatory authority. Maybe that's the best. I don't mean to sound daunting with that, but the national program, the National Register of Historic Places, is an honorary designation to be put on the register. It says that your house is of value, of national value. But there are no rules and regulations. You could have a National Register home and demolish it tomorrow if you wanted to, which makes my heart hurt to think about, but it could happen. The Reading historical, the Reading inventory of historic places is very similar to the National Register in that it is an honorarium. However, the town does have some authority over homes that are on the town's inventory, in that you can't just demolish a house tomorrow. You'd have to talk and work with the commission to find alternatives to demolition, and your demolition plans may be delayed for up to a year while you're in conversation with the historical commission. The Historic District Commission, when you get to the local historic district level, that is where the regulatory authority comes in. So the Historic District Commission actually has more jurisdiction and authority over homes in an historic district than any other body nationally. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. Well, Susan, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
She was very, very nervous about coming today, and I told her, it's okay, Sue, we only... What do they call it when they put you in the town square?
Put you in the stocks and flog you.
You flog, that's it. We'll only flog you if you really mess up, and you didn't mess up at all.
Thank you.
So thank you for tuning in to us today, and wait for our next show. I don't know what it's going to be. Well, actually, I do. I'm just not going to tell you yet. And have a great fall. Enjoy the weather, because we know it's going to change real fast. And you know what? When you're going down West Street, either north or south, look for the plaque, and now you'll know what it's all about. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.